Hello everybody and welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix, a segment of my career mode. You remember from last year that I did very well at this race in the full wet conditions, gaining a 6th position as a result, and I'm hoping for better this year. Whether or not I'll get it is another matter, but Q1 was extremely easy as I just did one lap on hard tyres and got through. But for Sauber in particular, they'll be extremely disappointed to be knocked out in Q1 together. And now we move on now to the second segment of qualifying, where I have to try and beat my teammate Maldonado for a place in the top 10 early in the session, as my warm-up lap on hard tyres didn't go to plan. Sector 1 was okay, nothing too wrong with it. Now into Sector 2, 5 minutes to go, as the race engineer states, and we're 7/10 up on my own personal best. Paul di Resta has now improved the criteria to 1:24.1, and I go 1:23.5, a great time. But now the session advances yet more. It's Sergio Perez on the bubble, and I'm improving a little bit more. Can I improve in these last two corners? Go down to second gear briefly, trying to keep it hanging on in there, and we're through the final corner. Can I get the 1:23 run? No. And that's it for me. A 1:23.3 is the very best I could manage, with Paul di Resta and Sutil not too far behind. Force India having a terrible year, but they'll hope to improve. But a good and satisfactory 11th position. I'll take that for the race. And there's a look at our official grid with Fernando Alonso on pole, with Vettel and Rosberg alongside. So expect the unexpected today. This could be one of my biggest races of the season. We haven't scored a point in 2 races. It's got to change, and this is a good chance to do it. Here we go. Perez and Button alongside each other. Great start for the Force India on the inside. The other one trying to collect a position as well. Braking late. Just tagging Jenson Button and his new pink helmet. Massa. What a start for Felipe Massa. Oh, he's gone right around the outside Jenson Button. Paul di Resta through as well. And now there's Pastor Maldonado, my teammate. My teammate's on the outside. But I have the racing line safe and sound there. Paul di Resta and Jenson Button nearly coming to blows. And I take a wide line to avoid the Force India, but he avoided me more or less. And now we follow like a train through the 5th gear left-hander, and I go wide. And now we turn into turn 6, and we got cars off again, just like last season. Cars off, and the Ferraris were involved. Both Ferraris gone like a light, but we advance. We can't care about the past. We have to move on now, as Perez is in the way, with Maldonado right behind in 9th. So McLaren and Ferrari down drivers, so they've work to do to recover. But now it's all about Sergio Perez at this stage. A poor piece of driving from the guys behind, but we've got 2 Williams in the points, which is absolutely sensational, and it's something that we'll have to keep improving. Maldonado yet to score a single point in this entire career mode, whereas I've collected nearly 80 points, or nearly, I don't know how many, about 60 points, something like that. And now we cross the line. A 1:36.1 is my lap, but on the harder tyre there's not a lot I can do compared to Sergio Perez. Braking again for this second corner in the first sector, and off go the cars again. 3 abreast, gone off the road, and goodness me, it's a 5th position without necessarily doing anything. And Maldonado inherits more places as well. Quite remarkable. But as the new number 1 driver, I've got to keep my position ahead of the Venezuelan. And now I'd just like to show you this sort of glitch. It says I've got +5 fuel, even though I clearly stated I want regular like balanced fuel, and it's giving me +5. So I'm on the rich fuel mix and it's not doing anything. So it must be a glitch with the display. It's telling me I have loads of fuel and yet it won't burn off. So we just have to carry on and push to get away from Maldonado. Vettel sets the benchmark time of 1:24.9 as he is in the lead. We're down a car, and I'm now pulling a nice healthy gap from Pastor, but Webber of course has doubled that and he's 6 seconds clear. And I'm still on the rich fuel mix, and my tyres are starting to get worn out. As you'll know very well this series, tyres are my Achilles heel, and we crossed the line with another decent time, and that's pretty much the end of the highlight. Maldonado not able to keep up with me. And lap 8, it's not looking like a very exciting race thus far, but to be in 5th place means a lot, and I'm sliding everywhere, but I decide to stay out as my strategy calls for a longer stint. So I will be gaining some more positions if things go to plan, or at least put some pressure on random drivers. And you can see now Maldonado could very well be catching up, but he decides to pit, I think. And now I'm around the outside of Nico Rosberg, and the Mercedes driver will be disappointed to come out in a net 4th position. I think he'll be getting his position back very soon. So Maldonado pits, giving me a few extra seconds to make my decision on what to do. We go on the soft tyre for the first stop, and it's a very good one as well. Absolutely daylight in the pit lane, not a problem. And we emerge back in 5th position with Mark Webber up the road in 4th. So there you go, 10 laps complete and 26 to go with Maldonado behind, and the race engineer warns of some yellow flags, and guess where it is there? It's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton off. He was in a prime position as well after winning the British Grand Prix. To do something like that again will be extremely negligent from the Briton. And of course he ruined my race in the Nürburgring, so there is a bit of bad blood between us two. But there's a look at the running order, with the retirements being Sutil and Gutierrez, so disappointment for them. But I am in 5th position and Maldonado in 6th, so that's all we care about. And now we advance past Guido van der Garde, who was in my way. And Maldonado's starting to catch up now. He's feeling a good bit of rhythm, but you can see my tyres are starting to give up, and I'll have to pit at the end of this lap. And Hamilton 5.9 seconds clear. I moved back down to standard just to keep these tyres in somewhat decent condition. And Maldonado's going to pit as well. Maldonado pits as well. I've got to get a 3-second gap if I'm not going to avoid him. Here we go, this is it. 1, 2, Maldonado's here. He's going to be held. He's going to be held. Disaster for Williams. You can see now he's just started to get some service. And Alonso, who Maldonado's doing such a magnificent job against, has now overtaken. So it's Rosberg, Webber, Hamilton, Vettel, Harman, Alonso, Maldonado, Massa, Button, Verne in your top 10. Perez, Di Resta, Raikkonen, Chilton and Peak are the more significant runners. And now, thanks to my poor strategizing, I've now got Fernando Alonso to deal with after Maldonado's doing such a good job. I really have to say good things about Pastor there, but now he's way behind, nowhere to be seen, and now I've got to deal with the Spaniard. He's got some fans to the left of me in the grandstand, and now he'll get DRS to complement his Ferrari engine. We've got other cars emerging from the pits, but they just seem to be lapsed cars, such as the Caterham and Toro Rosso of Danny Ricciardo. And now Alonso's been held, so that'll give me a little bit of breathing space. And there's Ricciardo, who famously won in real life at this very track. But now we've got yellows again. Oh, there's a big pile-up of at least 2 cars, maybe 3. And we'll have to avoid the danger. There it is. Vettel and Webber. Vettel and Webber collision. And Alonso's hit Vettel as well. That's got to be a significant, neutralization. I think it's got to be a safety car for sure. And there it is, just in time, huge collision. Webber and Vettel involved, and Alonso's taken damage. So let's take a look at the chaos. Mercedes all of a sudden have a 1-2. Alonso, Vettel and Webber all damaged. Maldonado and Button in the top 10 as well. So great recovery for Jensen. But now I've got a lapped Lotus in my way, and we've got to get him moved over so I can compete with these Mercedes for as much time as possible. But I've absolutely no way to compete with Raikkonen. I decide to stay out on these used tyres, but they'll last a little longer. So Kimi Raikkonen on me outside. He's got to get out of my way. Here we go, green flag. Very bad getaway. The engine's not looking too healthy. I'm putting it really high on temperature, but there you go. Raikkonen gets out of the way. He's got a lot of lap traffic to deal with. And there we go, back to racing conditions with Rosberg in the lead. Lewis Hamilton, lucky to recover from his mistake, is now second, and I'm, of course, in 3rd position, looking for my 2nd career podium in Formula 1 after winning the Monaco Grand Prix in lucky circumstances. Now I've got Jensen Button right behind. Nico Rosberg pits, so one of the lead Mercedes pits. I will react to this, I'm almost certain. So Hamilton will now lead. Rosberg and Button are in between me, we've got a queue of cars heading towards final turns now, and Maldonado, he's got catching up work to do, but I wish him well in his endeavours. We brake as late as we can, 99 miles an hour speed limit. Here we go, one more pit stop to go the distance. It's 3, it's 4, it's too late. Button's through. Jenson Button has overtaken me for the podium, and the team can't really, take responsibility. They had to keep themselves and the car safe, and now I've got a Toro Rosso to my outside, but he's got to back off Jean-Eric Verne and Grosjean as well. So all sorts of battles up and down the order. So Jenson Button has my podium position, and I want it back. What is going to happen next? Well, there you go. I'm keeping up with him, at least with Maldonado in front, that he could actually help. But we've got more waved yellows, and it's another cluster. It's another cluster of cars. What's going to happen here? We've got a Red Bull, we've got a Lotus, we've got the Mercedes. That's a Mercedes. Jenson Button hits Alonso. Jenson Button hits Alonso straight in the back, and I've got 6th position. I've overtaken under yellows, but it's clean. It's deemed legal in the eyes of the stewards. So we had a Mercedes go off. It was, I don't know which one it was. It was just so much happening. But we'll cross the line, and we find ourselves in 2nd. It's Rosberg who went off. Rosberg is the lead Mercedes in the championship, but he's given it all away. And Hamilton leads the Hungarian Grand Prix. Felipe Massa has made a great recovery, and he's ahead of me. But he'll have to pit, and we've got a car off again. It's the Red Bull. Oh, we're fed up with these Red Bulls, aren't we? It's Mark Webber. For the 3rd time, he's in that zone. I got on the inside, and he's going to have to cut the corner. So, negligent driving from me this time, but I get away with it. Webber probably deserved to be shoved off the road, in fairness. Jenson Button now is going to be competing. And we've got to keep going. Another 10 laps to go. Once we cross the line, we're down to 17 cars, and Button will have to try the inside. He won't do it though. I think he's going to play it safe. He knows that my tyres will expire eventually, but we have to get Massa out of the way as he's going long this stint. I think he must have pitted under a safety car. There you go. He's now pitted, and we're really stretching towards the end now. It's a long way to go on these tyres, but I believe we can do it. Jenson Button versus me, all alone for the time being. So let's take one last look at the running order. It's Hamilton, myself, Button, Perez, Massa, Alonso, Webber, Rosberg, Verne and Vettel in the top 10. Maldonado 11th place with a Caterham 12th, Grosjean 13th, Chilton 14th and Ricciardo 15th. 2 other runners remain, but there are all sorts of retirements out there, and it's hard to keep up with all the action. But now we're starting to get caught. I've been holding up the McLaren for pretty much the whole race, and there's his teammate now in my left corner mirror. We had the battle here last season for 6th position, but now this is for the marbles as Hamilton continues to dominate. He's pulled out a 3-second lead this lap alone, so I think I've got to declare him the winner. So it's all about us fighting for the remaining rostrum positions, but still no room for Jenson Button to pass. And we've now got Perez and another car. I think that's a Ferrari. There we go. The queue is now 4 strong behind me in the Martini Williams. And what is going to happen next with 32 laps played and 35 in total? And now Jenson Button really has the DRS. Everyone else behind me has DRS, but will they make an overtake? No, incredibly not. Jenson Button slowed down, and is anyone going to give him a go? Perez has to protect his teammate, and he does so valiantly. Great effort from the Mexican. But now Jenson Button really has a run, and Perez on the inside as well. Jenson Button is through, but will he defend the line? Perez going deep as well. No, he's backed out of it, and a Ferrari is through. Ferrari overtaking us in the back, so the great rivals of the past continue to dice for position, and I've got to keep the Williams at bay. Jenson Button now really knowing I'm vulnerable, but he can't do a thing about it. Massa looking on the outside. Massa knows there are World Championship points to play for today, and my tyres are completely gone. Button on the outside, and Massa behind, so we have one more lap to survive. Can we do it? We've gone all this way to fight for every last scrap, and this is our moment. Jenson Button following, and here's Felipe Massa. He's a little bit behind. Jenson Button last chance saloon. Look how close the Ferrari is now. He brakes and he's through. Massa overtakes, and Button's completely fallen back. What a tragedy for the Briton. But now here's Felipe Massa looking down the inside. He knows he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. but the 2006 Hungarian Grand Prix winner is now out of contention. Who is going to take the victory now? I got a car off. This could affect everything. It's only in Russia, but we still got to get rid of it. Chilton will perhaps help me for a brief moment, but Massa's still on my gearbox. Unbelievable racing, and it's still not over. Oh, we got a big gap now. The Russia's really done himself no favours with the front runners, I'm afraid. He's gotten out of the way now, but it's just a 1v1. Myself and Felipe Massa for the podium position, for the runners-up spot, for 18 points. Who wants them more? Massa going for the inside, surely. No, he backs out of it. Hamilton takes his win. That's 2 in the last 3 races for him, so a remarkable turn of fortune. I blocked the inside very recklessly there. There's a Mercedes. It's Rosberg in 4th. Would you believe it? Now, Massa, final turn. He's going for it. No, he's pushed me out wide just a tiny bit. I understeer. Massa's gotten his move done, and it's only 3rd in the end. Massa, very clean overtake. I just couldn't hook the inside line enough, but I'll take my 2nd ever podium, no problem. What a result and what a race yet again for this career mode. It never ever stops, does it? But there you have it. Lewis Hamilton wins. Felipe Massa gains those 3 extra points ahead of me. We've got Rosberg, Perez, Alonso, Button, Vettel, Webber and Verne in the top 10. Williams continue to just have one driver carrying the team. Maldonado won 11th. Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Peak, Grosjean, Van der Gaard, Chilton. The remaining finishers: Bianchi, Di Resta, Hulkenberg, Sutil and Gutierrez all out of the race. So would you believe it? Massa leapfrogs Vettel into the lead of the World Championship. A completely shocking result there. Alonso 3rd, Rosberg 4th, Hamilton up to 5th, Webber 6th, and I think Raikkonen's ahead of me in 7th, and then I'm 8th. But it's all happening in this championship. Williams re-overtakes Sauber for the 6th position in the Constructors, but it's all between Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull now. But that's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We'll savour our first proper podium celebration in Formula 1, and there you go, hands in the air. I can't be fully satisfied with all my luck, but we'll take it any day of the week. I'll see you again for the Belgian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed.